Hey guys, ThatAlbumReviewerGuy here, and excuse me. You probably remember that I said I did try to do a top 10 list every week. I'm trying to stick to that because I'm doing one or not. This is my top 10 favorite international bands. Bands from all across the globe, except for North America. That includes Canada. Next week, top 10 Canadian bands. Don't miss that. Unless you want to. I can already tell you that one's going to be like mostly modern rock stuff. So if you don't like that, don't bother checking it out. Check this one out though. I think this one has a little bit more variety. You may disagree, but it is what it is. Okay, so top 10 international bands. From all over the world. Except for North America. And Antarctica, because there's no bands from there. Even though Metallica played there. They're not from there though. Anyway, let's get on with the list. Alright, number 10 from the Netherlands, we have a band that I reviewed earlier this year. One of their albums actually, Within Temptation. Within Temptation is a Dutch symphonic metal band. And my review of their album Hydra from earlier this year is currently my top viewed and most disliked video on my channel. Thanks, guys! No, but seriously, thanks. I do appreciate the feedback. And, Within Temptation, very good symphonic metal band. I don't listen to much symphonic metal, but they're definitely a band to check out. Number 9, excuse me, bit phlegmy. We have another band that I reviewed an album for earlier this year from Australia. We have Wolfmother. Wolfmother is like a stoner rock band, and they stoner rock / psychedelic rock. They incorporate like those elements in their music. You recall I reviewed their album New Crown earlier this year, and I gave it an 8 out of 10 if I remember correctly. It might have been an 8.5, I really don't remember, but I like the album. I like their previous albums as well, Cosmic Egg, as well as their self-titled. Of course, the song Woman off the self-titled, and their song White Feather. Some good ones. You want to hear a modern, sort of like maybe modern Jimi Hendrix, if you want to go that far, mixed with I don't know, some stoner rock band. Got Wolfmother. Number 8 from Finland, Him, His Infernal Majesty. Now, Him is a band that I got into last year, and their love metal sound is something that I really got into. I mean, they have like this kind of like soothing tone, and most of her songs are about like romance and stuff, but they do it in a way that, is appealing. Not like these crappy love ballads or power ballads, or they sort of put their own take on it, and that's what makes them a unique band, and that's why I like them. Number 7 from Germany, Rammstein. Rammstein is a band that probably needs no introduction. I'm pretty sure all of you know about Rammstein. They're a German industrial metal band, I guess you can call them. Very popular in America, Germany. They have some good songs. Of course, Du Hast, everyone knows that one. And, that's one of the few bands I listen to that don't really have much English in their songs, but I sort of know German. Yeah. So, yeah, but their music is good anyway. I mean, some nice German metal, and you know, you can't go wrong with that. Get you on your feet, get your blood pumping, your adrenaline pumping, just good stuff. Number 6, might get some hate on this one, but I don't care. From Wales, we have Bullet for My Valentine. Goodness gracious. And the Bullet for My Valentine is a band that I just saw back in October. They were pretty good live. And you know, I like all their albums. I'm probably the only guy on the face of the earth who actually likes Temper Temper. Maybe I just like bad music. And if you see my Canadian bands review next week, you might think the same, maybe. But I don't care. That was a bit of a Canadian accent right there for you. Hey. Okay, but anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah. Anyway, Both for My Valentine. Like a UK sort of thrash metal band. Metalcore in the earlier days. They basically like go from metalcore to thrash metal to heavy metal to whatever. You know, they do what they want. And they're not as bad as people say they are. I don't think they're bad at all, really. I think they're pretty good. They're pretty good live. And Temper Temper is not that bad of an album, people. It's not. Goodness. Number 5 from Australia. You'd think this would be higher up, maybe. You'd think this might be not on the list. AC/DC. AC/DC is a hard rock band. It's been in the business for forever. And maybe gonna release a new album this year. Maybe gonna break up. Who knows? But AC/DC are hard rock legends. They are definitely talented musicians. You know, the Bon Scott era was good, and Brian Johnson isn't that bad. I mean, Back in Black, good album. And the albums after that aren't terrible. And they don't all sound completely the same. But to each his own, I guess. Number 4 from England. You'd think this would be higher up. Black Sabbath. See, I don't want to go on the bandwagon saying Black Sabbath is the best. Mostly because I'm not that old. No offense. But I think there are better bands than Black Sabbath. Don't get me wrong though. Black Sabbath are metal legends. I mean, they pretty much are the founders of heavy metal. You know, Tony Iommi is a great guitarist. Geezer Butler is a great bassist. You know, the Ronnie James Dio era, I like that too. And can't go wrong with Ozzy. But, you know, 13 was a good album. Of course, you know, their earlier stuff as well with the earlier Ozzy years with Paranoid and then on. And the Dio years were good too. Number 3 from South Africa, we have Seether. And why is Seether above Black Sabbath? It's because I've listened to Seether more often than I've listened to Black Sabbath, believe it or not. Seether is just, you know, they sort of change their style a little bit for every song. They're like an alternative metal / post-grunge band, and they have some pretty good songs. I mean, of course you got Remedy, Tonight, Country Song, you know, the ones people know a lot. And then you got some ones that people don't know as much, like Sold Me, and Out of My Way is a good one as well. And their new single, Words as Weapons, been listening to that one quite frequently. And my goodness, it's a good one. Can't wait for Isolate and Medicate to come out. Number 2 from England, you'd think they'd be on number 1. but they're not. And that band would have to be Iron Maiden. Number 2. Great heavy metal band. Bruce Dickinson's an amazing singer. Why aren't they number 1? Yeah, I kinda overplayed Iron Maiden. Don't know how, but I kinda did. I really don't know how. Iron Maiden, you'd think it's a band that can't be overplayed. For me, they just were. Just this much. Just this much. I still like Iron Maiden, though. Don't get me wrong. But just this much. They were overplayed just this much. So they lost number 1 to a band from Denmark. You might hate me because I put them over Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath. Volbeat. I know what you're gonna say. Well, it's generic. I listen to generic heavy metal bullcrap. Bite me. But Volbeat is a great metal band. You know, they incorporate elements of like groove metal, some heavy metal, just hard rock, rockabilly even. Their latest album, A Lot of Gentlemen, Shady Ladies, good album, check it out. Got some good songs on that album. You know, of course, the singles, Lola Montez and The Hangman's Body Count, Dead But Rising, you know, it's good stuff. Their older stuff as well is good. You just can't go wrong. The minute I first heard these guys, I was immediately on the bandwagon, so to speak. Volbeat, great band. A ton of these bands are great bands from around the world. And stick around next week for my top 10 Canadian bands. Sometime next week, and more album reviews, of course, coming up. That's pretty much all I gotta say. That album review guy. I messed up my outro again. Good lord. That album reviewer guy. Signing off.